promised, is Ababu Namwamba, the Budalangi MP and Chair, PAC. Thank you so much for making time for us. And maybe you should confirm that you're live in our studios.
Come on, Hussein. I'm here.
Okay, thank you.
In flesh and blood, we say it mundu humundu.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah. Just to set the record straight, and first at least to give the Honorable Ababu Namwamba some time to respond to all these issues for the first time. He has been accused of high-handedness and arrogance as the PAC chair, sometimes going to trips alone and neglecting other people when people are going to trips abroad, leaking committee reports, and even taking a bribe of 5 million shillings to doctor a report that bribe coming from Mutea Iringo. All these allegations have been made against Ababu Namwamba. He has done his part, of course, today, appearing before the Privileges Committee and put his record straight. And I think it's important to just give him time to respond to these allegations very briefly before we proceed.
First of all, Hussein, let me say that I'm very happy to be here, and that for the last 3 weeks, this matter has raged in public. It's been discussed in every place, but only one side of this narrative has been heard, the side of these allegations and of these rumors. This is the very first time that I'm coming out to tell my side of the story. And Kenyans may wonder why. Why have I been silent all this time? And I've been silent because I'm a respecter of due process. I respect due process, I respect procedure. The moment this matter erupted, I brought every scrap of information in my knowledge to the Speaker. And the Speaker can confirm that indeed he's in possession of all this information for the last 2 or so weeks.
Right.
And when the Speaker made it clear that he was going to institute a process to look into this matter, I believed that wisdom demanded and proper procedure demanded that I should hold my horses, keep all the information in my possession, and officially and formally table this information before the organ constituted to conduct this process.
Right.
I did that today, and that's why I feel liberated that since this information is now in the public domain, I can now discuss this matter. And it is also important, Hussein, for it to be clarified that I insisted to be grilled by this committee in public. And indeed, the reason why the session yesterday did not proceed is because I refused to be grilled in private. Because this matter is a matter of public interest, and I see no reason why a committee of parliament investigating a matter such as this would want to discuss this matter behind closed doors. Now, let's come to the issues you have raised.
Very briefly.
Very, very briefly, actually, in just a few seconds. You had the chairman of the Powers and Privileges Committee himself, Mr. Honorable Cheboy, together with several of his members, unequivocally, unambiguously, clearly indicate that Ababu Namwamba is not on trial. And you are in that room, Hussein. I could see you standing right there in the room. Ababu Namwamba is not on trial. Ababu Namwamba is not being investigated, and that there are no accusations of any nature against me on any record. Indeed, Hussein, I have come here with a stack of documents, including a Hansard record of even the meeting where the so-called vote of no confidence was done. And you will actually confirm from this record that there is no single accusation against me. And that's why I've always asked, other than the rumors, the speculation, and the political noises, what exactly is Ababu Namwamba accused of? And if you have any accusation against Ababu Namwamba, why is it not on record? This matter has been raging for 3 weeks now. How would it take 3 weeks of debate, discussion, innuendo, speculation, rumor mongering, and yet there is absolutely no single accusation on record to this date?
But on the Hansard, what you're saying then is there's no evidence that have been adduced on anything, or just allegations? Because in the Hansard, we've had some MPs in the Hansard talking about how they never went for trips. We've had some MPs talking about the 5 million shilling being received from Mutea Iringo.
Now, what you have on record, and it's good, I'm going to leave this record with you. What you have on record is a list of issues that members wanted to rely on for the vote of no confidence. Now, these issues were raised by members And normally the way we operate, we say Parliament is a house of rules, Parliament is a house of records. When you raise any issue, when you raise an allegation, for it to go on record, you have to fulfill the requirements of Standing Order 91. And Standing Order 91, Hussein, allow me just to read it for the benefit of your listeners. A member shall be responsible for the accuracy of any facts which the member alleges to be true and may be required to substantiate any such facts instantly.
Right.
It goes on to say that if you make any allegation and you fail to substantiate,
right,
you withdraw
right,
and apologize,
right,
or it is extinguished.
Right.
All those issues you see there, the reason why they do not appear on this Hansard record as official allegations is because they were not substantiated.
Okay.
And members have been given opportunity time and again. I have information that yesterday, the three members at the center of this whole matter, Honorable Bas, Honorable Bet, and Honorable Nyanga, appeared before the committee. They were asked to substantiate this matter. They did not. And that is why today the chairman of the committee, Honorable Chiboy, made it clear to me and to the whole world, because it was in public, that there is no accusation against me on any of those matters on record.
Okay.
And that is the position.
Right. You said before the Privileges Committee that you were aware that there was a meeting between some MPs and Mutai Ringo. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Have you, just like you say, they should substantiate, have you substantiated that? Do you have evidence?
I have taken the necessary measure to substantiate.
Right.
And among those measures is that, number one, I have provided a recording of a confession.
Right.
Now, there's an interesting way in which this matter has been looked at. For instance, when the news of this recording became public, politics as usual, Kenyan style, came in. Ababu recorded his party leader. And that now became the big story. The story really, in my view, should be that for the first time ever in the history of this country, with all the allegations and speculation and rumors about possible integrity issues in Parliament, for the first time ever, there is a lead. There is a lead that can be pursued. There is a lead. How that lead landed in our lap is another story. But what is important is that we have a lead.
Okay.
Can we follow that lead and see whether it can help us to take on the integrity issues in Parliament head on?
Right. This recording you're talking about, who recorded it? Who did the recording?
Hussein, I don't want to go into the details of this recording for one important reason. I have placed this recording as a piece of evidence before an organ of the National Assembly that is investigating this matter. You were before the committee when I made it clear that confirmation of the authenticity, the veracity, and admissibility of this recording is the discretion of the committee.
Right.
After the committee has admitted this recording officially, we can then go into those details of how it was recorded and all that. But for now, I want to respect due process and allow the committee to make the decision on admissibility first.
And I respect that, but for the sake of our viewers, and it's good for you to also clarify, you're saying you'll not go into the details of who did the recording, when and where it was recorded?
What I'm saying is that there are details that I'll discuss with the committee.
Right.
And I made that commitment when I appeared before the committee today, that I'll discuss those details with them after they have admitted it.
Right.
For now, what Kenya should be interested in is, are there voices that are audible on this recording?
They are.
Can we identify these voices?
They are.
Are these voices providing any leads that could help in the investigation around this matter?
Right.
And in my view, that recording is a fantastic opportunity for us to start walking the walk. We talk so much about fighting corruption. Even this whole thing about trying to pit Ababu against Raila Odinga, who is my party leader, really is unnecessary, because in my view, Raila Odinga is a paragon. He's a champion against corruption. And he now has an opportunity to also help in driving this lead to its logical conclusion.
Honorable Namwamba, I think, again, I respect what you're saying, but for the sake of our viewers, you can, of course, you have every right to say whether you're going to talk about details of the recording or not. So you're not going to tell us who recorded it, when, and where it was recorded?
When that was before the meeting of the Public Accounts Committee, at which
the no confidence
confidence motion, when this matter was discussed.
From what we are getting, Honorable Ababu Namwamba, is that this thing was recorded on 22nd February. That was on a Sunday. That is what we are getting.
Hussein, you're a smart guy.
That is what we are getting. Let me finish. I'm not trying to do anything.
Yes.
Let me just finish because you're at liberty to respond or not.
Yes, please.
We gather it was recorded on the 22nd of February.
Yes.
This is a few days before the motion of no confidence was, before the Hansard and everything, before you went, the PAC meeting happened. Many would are already asking why was this recording done on that day, just a few days before this happened?
Let me say this. First of all, I want to confirm here, as I confirmed before the Powers and Privileges Committee, that all details about this recording are available, will be divulged in the context of this investigation, respecting due process. But let me also say that when this matter erupted, from the blue, it put pressure on the entire committee to try to get to the root of this. Because if all of a sudden a committee that has operated so well suddenly gets embroiled in rumors flying left, right, and center, everybody is interested to find out exactly where the truth could be. And as the chairman of this committee, I felt duty bound to try and gather some information. And by the way, Hussein, I didn't just gather information. I put together information and conveyed it to the speaker as proper order.
And I'll give you.
And this communication to the speaker actually makes it clear that there is this recording, and he also listened to the recording.
Respectfully, I'll give you time to answer that, but if you can just respond to the question I asked you.
Yes.
Many would say that what you're doing is actually fighting back. You knew this thing is coming in a few days, and you decided to do this recording so that you can deflect the attention from you. And
Hussein,
it's like a smear campaign. That is the accusation that is being made.
That one I'll answer. Hussein, you can only fight back against something that is real. The bribery allegation against Ababu Namwamba. Who exactly is the owner of that allegation? Who is my accuser? Let me just proceed with that line. One, who is my accuser? Two, where is the evidence from this accuser? And most importantly, this is critical, and we've sort of grappled with this matter for a long while. Why wouldn't this accuser formally place this accusation on record? Because only when you have put an accusation on record can you be interrogated on record. Finally, Hussein, normally when you accuse somebody of being compromised, you must also link it to what exactly they were compromised to do. As this whole debate has raged, no one has come forth and said Ababu was compromised to do this. So can we also be shown what exactly I was supposed to have been compromised to do?
Yes. We want to finish up on this recording. Did these people who are being recorded, including your party leader, and some say that is being very disloyal of you, did they know? What was the motivation when they were being recorded, and did they know they were being recorded?
The details about that recording, how it was done, where it was done, for me, those are issues, as I've already said, that will be discussed. But what I want to say that the motivation, or the motive, was in good faith. The motive was to put together information that would aid this investigation. And this investigation, for me, Hussein, must not end with the Powers and Privileges Committee. This is an investigation that must be extended to other anti-corruption agencies, so that it can really be concluded effectively.
Now that you've mentioned that, I want to quote some of the things you were saying. You said you took responsibility to get to the root cause of this matter yourself. You met people and got information. That is one. You also said you left a handwritten letter with the Speaker of the National Assembly for his authorization for this to be taken up by the Ethics and Corruption Commission and the Director of Public Prosecutions. The question is, all these things were happening for a while. Why haven't you then, if you're so serious against corruption, why didn't you go to the relative investigative agencies to give this information?
Hussein, I've already answered that question. I am a respecter of institutions. I'm a respecter of authority. I'm a respecter of due process. If you listened to the debate on the floor of Parliament on the 5th day of March this year, when Honorable Duale moved the motion to have this matter sent to the Powers and Privileges Committee, I made an address to the House on that matter. Among the things I specifically put to the Speaker, I told Mr. Speaker, I have shared certain information with you in confidence over this matter. And I asked Mr. Speaker, as you rule, please rule also whether this information can be made public and can be shared with other agencies. In his ruling, Mr. Speaker was very clear that this information was shared in confidence and it will only be handled by the Powers and Privileges Committee.
But nothing stops you as an individual to go to the relative investigative agencies. Why didn't you go if this was such a problem?
Nothing stops me, Hussein. I agree with you. But you see, we also operate in an institutional setup. Now that this information has formally, officially been tabled before this committee of the House, which is the organ that was established to deal with it. It is now public information. I now have made a commitment that all this evidence will be shared with other agencies, including the EACC. Yes.
Finally, you say your life is in danger. That's what you say today. And you're saying this is coming from very high places. You've even quoted the office of the president. Why are you saying that?
Hussein, these things are not happening in a vacuum. There are three clear interests that I see at play here. One is political, purely political. And I have said this several times, that there's politics within my own home, ODM code. There's politics there. And when you listen to that recording, I made it very clear. I made it very clear even to the party leader that there's politics in this. Then secondly, there are those interests who are upset by some of the work that this committee has done. And Hussein, I have with me here reports of the audited accounts for 3 years, the last being the year 2013, where we unearthed some very damning things in terms of government expenditure, especially under what is called confidential expenditure. And I believe that there are people, forces within government, including at OP, who are not happy. Who are not happy with these findings.
So what can you say
then? Finally, because I'd say there are three forces. There's the politics, there is the interest around this matter from the audited accounts, and then there is the work. This is also fundamental. The work that is currently before the committee. Kenyans may want to know the timing of the eruption of this matter coincided perfectly with our investigation in the IBC, where we were scheduled to start calling witnesses. And this is the list of witnesses that the committee had already prepared. And number one on this list,
I have to cut you short because of time.
Ahmed Isaac Hassan.
Because of time, I'll have to cut you short. Just answer this question for me. In light of all this, what do you think about corruption and what do you know actually about corruption and extortion in Parliament? Yourself individually.
What I know, Hussein, is that
very briefly,
there has been a raging debate, rumors, speculation around corruption in Parliament, but no one has ever placed a finger on anything. And there has never really been a lead. For the first time, we have a lead. My position is that let us grab this opportunity and deal with the issue of corruption and integrity in Parliament holistically. Let it not appear like it's targeting PAC. There are issues in the Agriculture Committee, in other committees of Parliament. Let us now use this opportunity to clean up the National Assembly.
We are completely out of time. Answer me this in 10 seconds, please. Mutea Iringo has said he has never bribed an MP, not been in contact with any MP with all these things. You said that you know he met some MPs. And at some point you said you talked with Bet's phone and he told Iringo, and I quote, "I'm very disappointed in you, Iringo, because I had respect for you. So don't involve my name." And that was the end of the story until this matter erupted. Now this is the matter that then was under investigation. Iringo now says nothing like that happened. You are saying something happened. Do you have the evidence to that?
First of all,
do you have the evidence to that? As we want, but that's the final question because of time. Do you have the evidence to that? And number two, this is Iringo you were talking to. And again, this is why people are questioning. If all this was happening, you're talking to Iringo about these things and you knew, why didn't you go to the relevant investigative agencies then?
Now, let me make it this clear. And you gave me only 10 seconds. First of all, Hussein, I have not made any accusation against Iringo. That needs to be made clear. What I have provided is information linking Iringo to this matter.
Yes.
And that information is twofold. On one side, a member is confessing on record that a meeting took place. That confession is not made by me. It is made by that member. And so the linking of Iringo to that matter is not being made by me. I'm simply providing information of a member doing so. The second angle to this is I am sharing information that now, with the benefit of hindsight, I do recollect that a member had indicated that there was a liaison between some members of the committee and Iringo. It is a matter which, as I have said clearly on record, when it came to my attention, and by the way, that's why we have the technology of phone records. By looking at phone records, it can be confirmed which member spoke to who, at what time, and when, and that can be confirmed. And the moment I expressed my displeasure to this gentleman, I considered the matter ended, and most importantly, the work we were doing in respect of audited accounts where Iringo was involved, it was well protected, and when you look at our recommendations, they are very harsh on Iringo.
We are hoping.
Properly so.
We are hoping we'll find more time.
And those recommendations are in sync with the evidence standard before the committee.
We are hoping we'll have more time to get into the bottom of this. A lot of questions still I have. A lot of questions still to be asked. But sadly, because of time, because we're also having a mini debate in the Kajiado Central by-election. And Kiguta, of course, is in Kajiado Central with all the candidates. We'll have to rush this through. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I'll be glad, let me tell you, listener, that I'll be glad to join you here again another time to go to the root of this.
We'll have time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now, moving on, Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission Deputy Chief Executive Officer Michael Mubea was today locked out of office and his security withdrawn as the intrigues within the anti-graft body deepened. Now, Mubea, who was interdicted for 30 days by Commission Chairman Matemu and later dramatically reinstated by the EACC CEO Halake Wako, was denied access to his office on Matemu's orders. The uncharacteristic squabble between the Commission's top leadership comes days after high-profile prosecution of Anglo leasing suspects, as Jackie Maribe now reports.